Hello students, in last section of chapter 2 biological classification, today we are going to study about Whittaker 5 kingdom classification system, its fourth kingdom Plantae and fifth kingdom Animalia, as well as we are going to study about viruses, viroids, prions and lichens also. Let's start first with fourth kingdom of Whittaker classification system, Plantae. Some features of this kingdom. This kingdom includes all eukaryotic chlorophyll containing organisms commonly called plants. So we can say plants which are green in color due to pigment chlorophyll, they all are included here. A few members are partially heterotrophic, such as insectivorous plants or parasites also. Bladderwort and Venus flytrap are examples of insectivorous plants and Cuscuta is a parasite. Majority of plants, they are autotrophs. They can fulfill the requirement of nutrient by photosynthesis process due to presence of green color pigment chlorophyll. But over and above this, some plants are also heterotrophic, like insectivorous plants. It means they depend on insect for their nutrient requirement, and some are parasites. Parasite plants depend on their host for their nutrition requirement. The plant cells have an eukaryotic structure with prominent chloroplast and cell wall mainly made of cellulose. We will study in detail about eukaryotic cell in chapter 8. Plantae includes algae, bryophytes, pteridophytes, gymnosperms and angiosperms. Life cycle of plants has two distinct phases. First, the diploid sporophytic phase and second, haploid gametophytic phase. They are actually alternate with each other. The length of the haploid and diploid phases and whether these phases are free living or dependent on others vary among different groups in plants. This phenomenon is called alternation of generation. So we can say that in the life cycle of plant, these two phases, sporophytic phase and gametophytic phase, come one by one after one, and that's why it is known as alternation of generation. We will study this further detail of this kingdom, features, examples in chapter 3. Fifth kingdom, Animalia. Some features of this kingdom. This kingdom is characterized by heterotrophic eukaryotic organisms that are multicellular and their cells lack cell wall. If we compare with Plantae kingdom of Animalia kingdom here, so it means that Plantae kingdom, they are having autotrophic plants. Here they are having heterotrophic animals. In Plantae, plant possess cell wall, but in Animalia, cell wall is absent. They directly or indirectly depend on plants for food. They digest their food in an internal cavity and store food reserves as glycogen or fat. Their mode of nutrition is holozoic. It means by ingestion of food. They follow a definite growth pattern and grow into adults that have a definite shape and size. Higher forms show elaborate sensory and neuromotor mechanism. Most of them are capable of locomotion. It means that they can change their places for particular requirements. The sexual reproduction is by copulation of male and female, followed by embryological development here. Salient features of this kingdom, Animalia, its various phyla characters and examples are described in chapter 4. Over and above this 5 kingdom, actually in Whittaker's classification system, some acellular organisms they are not mentioned, but their study is also must. So we are going to study about this type of organisms like viruses, viroids, prions and lichens. First, viruses. All of us who have suffered the ill effects of like common cold or flu know what effects viruses can have on us, even if we do not associate it with our condition also. So common cold and flu is an example of this. Viruses did not find a place in classification since they are not considered truly living organisms. If we understand living as those organisms that have a cell structure, but they are not having typical cell structure. Actually, they are also considered as a connecting link between living and non-living. The viruses are non-cellular organisms that are characterized by having an inert crystalline structure outside the living cell. Once they infect a cell, they take over the machinery of the host cell to replicate themselves, killing the host. Would you call viruses living or non-living? Think about it. Now, invention of viruses. First, the name virus, that means venom or poisonous fluid, was given by Dmitry Ivanovsky, 1892. Recognized certain microbes as casual organism caused mosaic disease of tobacco. It is mentioned in figure 2.6a also. These were found to be smaller than bacteria because they pass through bacteria proof filter also. So this way this type of virus was invented by this scientist. Second, M.W. Vajraynek. He demonstrated that the extract of the infected plants of tobacco could cause infection in healthy plants and called the fluid as Contagium vivum fluidum, infectious living fluid. Third, W.M. Stanley. He showed that viruses could be crystallized and crystals consist largely of proteins. They are inert outside their specific host cell. Viruses are obligate parasites. Body structure of viruses. In addition to proteins, viruses also contain genetic material that could be either RNA or DNA. It is not like that higher organism which possess both, but they possess either RNA or DNA as a genetic material. No virus contains both RNA and DNA. A virus is a nucleoprotein and the genetic material is infectious. In general, viruses that infect plants have single-stranded RNA, and viruses that infect animals, they have either single or double-stranded RNA or double-stranded DNA. This is difference between viruses which can infect plants or animals. Bacterial viruses or bacteriophages, actually they are viruses can infect the bacteria, are usually double-stranded DNA viruses. It is given in figure 2.6b. The protein coat called capsid, made of small subunits called capsomeres, protects the nucleic acid. These capsomeres are arranged in helical or polyhedral geometric forms. Viruses cause diseases like mumps, smallpox, herpes and influenza. AIDS in human is also caused by a virus, HIV. In plants, the symptoms can be mosaic formation, leaf rolling and curling, yellowing and vein clearing, dwarfing and stunted growth. So these viruses can cause disease in animals, in plants and in human also. Now let's study figure of tobacco mosaic virus and bacteriophage. In first figure A, you can see the structure of tobacco mosaic virus. Here you can see the genetic material is RNA. Capsid you can see here. It's made up of capsome here. The unit is orange here. Surrounding protein. So this way in tobacco mosaic virus their body structure is observed. In second figure B, it is bacteriophage. The structure of bacteriophage, you can clearly observe head region, collar region and tail fibers as well as sheath is also observed. So this way the body structure of viruses and bacteriophage is observed. Second, viroids. In 1971, Theo Diner discovered a new infectious agent that was smaller than viruses and caused potato spindle tuber disease. It was found to be a free RNA. It lacked the protein coat that is found in viruses, hence the name viroid. So we can compare between virus and viroids. They are having free RNA and lack the protein coat which is present in viruses. The RNA of the viroid was of low molecular weight. Third, prions. In modern medicine, certain infectious neurological diseases were found to be transmitted by an agent consisting of abnormally folded protein. The agent was similar in size to viruses. These agents were called prions. The most notable diseases caused by prions are bovine spongiform encephalopathy, it means BSE in short, and which is commonly called mad cow disease in cattle, and its analogous variant CR Jacob disease CJD in human. Fourth organism, that is lichens. Lichens are actually symbiotic association. The mode of nutrition is symbiosis. It is actually one kind of mutually beneficial relationship. Here two organisms are associated, algae and fungi, and their combination is known as lichen. The algal component is known as phycobient here, and fungal component is known as mycobient, which are actually autotrophic and heterotrophic respectively. Algae prepare food for fungi and fungi provide shelter and absorb mineral nutrients and water for its partner. So we can say both get benefit from each other, that is one type of mutual beneficial relationship and known as symbiosis. So close is their association that if one saw a lichen in nature, one would never imagine that they had two different organisms within them. So if in nature we observe this kind of organism, we can't differentiate it algae and fungal component easily. They look like only one single organism like structure. Lichens are very good pollution indicator because they do not grow in polluted areas. So over and above this, we take our 5 kingdom classification. These some organisms are also there: virus, virusid, prions and lichens, which are necessary to study here.